All right, so this is going to be like our test review. So let's get this. A 6. All right. All right, so here we go. It says for 1 through 5, use the figure at the right to find each measure. Okay, so the first thing they want us to find is SU. So you're finding the length of SU. So SU is right here. Okay, you see it has a tick mark, right? So what else? Right, UW too. So SU and UW will be equal, congruent. Where's today's, the blue one? Yes, you set them equal. Because they're congruent, so they're equal. All right, just subtract. So 2x is 2. Right, so x is 1, but we don't want just x, right? Yeah, we want to plug in. Right, so 3 times 1 plus 1 is indeed 4. All right, so very good. Yes. So now we're going to look here. I'm going to switch colors. Yeah, we need all these angles. We need angle VWX. So VWX. We want this angle right there. Okay. We also want WVX. So we want this angle here. And then they also want us to have XTV. So we're going to find that one. And then we want XVT. So XVT, so we want this one. So if I'm going to find XVT, what do I need to know? Y, right? I need to know what Y is. Okay, look up there. Do y'all see the 4Y? Right, same on the other side. So here's 4Y. Okay, and how do we know that they are congruent? Yeah, the same markings. You see how they both have 2 arcs? Yeah? Okay. So the 2 arcs mean they're congruent. Now, let's look. Do y'all see? We have this triangle here and the one right next to it, yes? We have those 2 triangles. Okay, they look congruent, but let's prove that they're congruent. Mm-hmm. Look, what angle is this right here? 90, because we've got 90 over here, right? Okay, so we have an angle and an angle. What else do they have the same? This side in the middle, right? Okay, so there's a side. What else is the same? We don't know the measure of it, but look at the markings. Up there at the top, right? Do you see this 4y and the 4y? Aren't those the same? Okay, so that's another angle. Angle, angle, side. Remember angle, angle, side congruency? Yeah, yes, Miss Campbell. I remember that totally. Okay, so yes, they are congruent with the angle, angle, side. So guess what? If this is 50, what's this angle? It's also 50. So we found what? WVX. WVX, 50. Okay, very good. Now can we figure out what that 4y angle is? Yeah. How do we figure that out?
So 90 plus
Yeah.
50.
We have a 90 and a 50. So what do all 3 add up together?
So that means y is 10.
180, right? Take away the 90. Take away the 15. So yes, it is indeed 40.
That means y is 10. If you plug
Okay.
that into the full wall.
So that 40 is the what? VW X.
Wait, didn't you say that 4y was equal to 40
Mm-hmm. So,
Yeah, but if you do that, y equals.
oh no. I didn't say 4y and the 40 minus y. Those are not equal. No. The two 4y's up at the top, those are congruent. Okay. So yeah, now guys, we know 4y is equal to 40. So what's y? Y'all said 10. So y is 10. Okay. Now we can use that to figure out that 40 minus y, can't we? Okay. So 40 minus 10, right. So that was xvt is 30. So xvt is 30. And then now we need our last one, xtv, this guy. Right. Yeah, when you see this is 90 over here, this is also 90. Right. So 90, 30, that's what, 120? 180 minus 120, you get 60.
Are we gonna have something on our test tomorrow like that gives you
It's on Thursday.
that gives you 20 questions?
No. It's just, no, it's one question per diagram. Yes. 60 or 90 plus 30. This is a 90 right here. And then we figured out this was 30. I'm looking at this little triangle. 90 plus 30. 9 plus 3. 12. Yeah. So yes, guys, do y'all see how everything is all connected? And everything's building one on top of the other? Yeah. Okay. All right, so let's go on. Now, I'm not going to solve every single one of these with you, okay? But we'll set them up. Hmm? We're not going to finish it today. Yeah. Okay. All right, let's do number 6 together. Okay, y'all, look at these segments here. Look at the segments in the middle. We're interested in LM and then BC, right? Do y'all remember what LM would be called?
Median.
Mid-segment. Mid-segment. Close. Okay, mid-segment. And how do I know it's a mid-segment? Because, look, here, L is the midpoint of this side, right? M is the midpoint of this side. So your mid-segment connects the two midpoints together. It's halfway down the triangle. Yes? Okay. Yes. What's your question?
So then what is the median of altitude?
Median, we're going to get to that in another question, okay? Yeah, a mid-segment, just think of it, it's like cutting off a small triangle from the big triangle, yeah? All right, and what do we know about the length of the mid-segment, y'all, compared to that third side? It's what? Half, okay?
So you can multiply by 2 or divide by 2.
Yeah, depending upon what you want. So LM is half of BC, okay, all the time. LM is half of BC. LM is half of BC. So now we just plug in what we know. LM is 3x plus 1. And then 1/2. And then BC, they tell us, is 10x minus 6. Now look carefully here. Can you divide 10x and 6 by 2? Yeah, so we can multiply this 1/2 in. All right?
Can't you multiply 3x plus 1 times 2 if you wanted to?
You could do that as well.
Equal them to each other and solve for x.
Mhm. Yep. So yeah, 3x plus 1 is equal to 5x minus 3. And then we just solve. Take away 3x. Also add 3. Okay, I'm doing both steps in one. So I get 4 is equal to 2x. So yes, divide by 2. Right, so x is 2. But then like it says, we want LM, so we got to plug in. So 3 times 2 plus 1, which is 7. Yeah. Like, if you can do that, that's fine. Yeah. Yeah, my policy is always like, I need to see an equation. I need to see some solving, you know? But like, I know it's tedious to write out every single little tiny step. If you can do 2 in 1, I'm fine. I just need to know that you know how to actually solve it. Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so for, are you gonna do number 7?
No, but what's your question on number 7?
So it's half times 3x minus 7. So when we just do improper fractions, or 3 over 2x.
So NM is the mid segment, and then AB is this whole thing. Well, yeah, so look, if you can't divide that whole side, AB, if you can't divide this by 2, what do you do with your mid segment? Times 2. Yeah.
Did you get 7 on number?
So 2NM, yes, we got 7 for number 6, is equal to AB. That's what you'll use to set up that one. Okay? We didn't solve it. It's just, this is what you're going to use to set it up. 2 times the mid segment is equal to that third side. Y'all, it's all about formulas. It's solving a formula. Mhm.
So why the 2 oh wait, is because M and then M is 2 times is equals AB?
Yeah, this is half the length, right? So if I do 2 of these, I get that. All right. Number 8, this is what we did yesterday. It was very easy. Okay. QN, it's the whole thing, right? It's from edge to edge. And then they want PN. So y'all look at the picture. Is PN bigger or smaller? It's the big piece. Yeah, PN. Yeah, PN is the big piece because, again, it comes from that corner. Yeah. Yep, perfect. Okay, so, yeah, I told you. Geometry, it makes you think. It makes you have to think. Your big one, how much of your big one is it? 2/3. Your big piece is 2/3 of the whole thing. Let me say that properly. So PN is 2/3 of QN, which is 9. And what's 2/3 of 9? 6. Okay.
Wait, how did you do that? Like, how did you do that? Like,
9 divided by 3 is 3 times 2, 6. Remember, like I said, you got to think. Y'all, I told y'all, you got to think of fractions as 2 separate operations. You multiply by the top, you divide by the bottom. Yes. All right, number 9 here, y'all. Let's talk about this one. They want you to find the measure of angle DEY. So here is DEY. It's this piece, yes? They also want you to find the measure of angle YEF. So that's YEF. And then they want DEF, which is, yes, the whole thing. And we did do this the Friday before last or whatever. Okay, so yeah, what do we know about that 12x minus 3 and the 9x plus 6? Right, those two angles, in my picture, the blue and the green, they're going to be congruent. Now, how do we know that they're congruent?
Because of the right angle and the thick.
90-degree
Right.
angle and the thick.
Yeah. Y'all see these right angles here? And also the fact that these ones are congruent. That means your two angles are congruent. So you just set them equal, and then you plug in. So 12x minus 3 will be equal to 9x plus 6. Okay, you're going to solve this for x. Okay, and then you're going to plug in. And you will find the three angles. Now, y'all, the blue and the green are what? Are they different sizes or the same size? The blue and the green.
Same size.
Yeah, they're the same size. So once you know one, you know both of them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then to find the whole thing, you just take one of them and you times 2. Times 2, because we're getting bigger. We're going to multiply by 2. Yes.
So like, what if I did 12x minus 3 equals 90?
We don't know. Yeah. That one's not 90 there. Yeah, you do that when it's in altitude on the triangle. Yes. Hold on. Mhm. Well, DEY, you have to be careful. That's why we have the 3 letters on this, because you see at point E, there's 2 angles there, right? So just be careful. DEY is this blue one. Does that answer your question? Kind of? Yes.
So in the test, would the answer question be like the different, what's the answer? Would the answer be the 3 different numbers for all 3 of those measurements?
They're not going to ask you to find all of them. Yeah. Yeah, just for like one or so. Okay, come on, y'all. Let's go. Here, hint. I would really pay attention to all this, because this might help you on maybe more than one question. So let's talk about the orthocenter. The orthocenter. Yeah, y'all had to look this one up. That's the meeting point of the what? Of the altitudes. Very good. Excellent job, y'all. That's just a stray mark. No, we're going to do that in a second. Okay. I mean, I'm just going over it. Yes, we will need to know it. Yes. Yes. Hold on. Hey.
We can use this when we go to the test. And then my second question is, the centroid is the,
We're going to get to it. We're going to get to it. Okay, so y'all, the ortho center. Come on, y'all. We can get through this more quickly if we focus. The ortho center, yes, it's the meeting point of the altitudes. And there was no location fact. So 4, IV. Okay. All right. Now let's see if we remember this one. Like where it is within the triangle. Well, that's why we're going through it. In center. Do we remember the meeting point for the in center?
it's the median.
Angle bisectors.
Angle bisectors. Okay. The in center is the meeting point of the angle bisectors. And it was equidistant from the sides. Yep, there we go. See, this is why we're going through this question. All right. Now, how about the circumcenter? We just learned this one. Well, right, perpendicular bisectors. Okay, so D. Okay. And it's from the vertices. Yes, 1.
I just guessed.
Yes, sir.
I was looking at my notes.
Okay. Okay.
What did I do? That was hobby. I didn't say that word.
All right. Centroid. We just learned about that yesterday. Right, medians.
Because it's all we have left.
Okay, and then, yes, good, process of elimination. And it's the third one, remember? Your small one, 2 times your small is equal to the big. Yes?
Yeah, something like that. Wait, so it's gonna be 2 times small. Never mind.
Yeah, guys, that's all it says.
All right, I gotta put that on my thing.
All right. Now let's go here.
Number 9 is a measure of an angle DUI 30 degrees.
Hmm?
You know, for number 9 is a measure of an angle DUI 30 degrees.
What the calculator said.
Okay. All right, here we go. Let's name this here. Y'all, come on. It says name an angle bisector. That one should be easy. GL. Yeah, look at G. Do you see how that angle's being cut into 2 pieces? So GL. That would be your angle bisector. Okay. Now name a median. A median. Okay. Well, it has to start at what? At a vertex, at a corner, and then it's going to cut the opposite side in half, right? So here, careful, careful. Yeah, so we have to start at H and then follow that line down. Where does it go? To J. Okay, so HJ, that's the straight line there.
Why wouldn't it be GL?
GL, we don't see that it's bisecting this side over here. Like you don't see tick marks there.
Oh,
Yeah.
Whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah. Okay.
If you said, if it has ticks, right, it'll be a bisector.
Mm-hmm. So you have to look carefully at this picture. Okay, be careful. There's 2 lines here. There's HJ, okay, and that's the median. And then you gotta also be careful here. HM is another separate line. Okay, HJ is the one that's starting at the vertex and is bisecting over here.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right, now. Okay, let's talk about an altitude. Which one of these is an altitude? Careful, guys. Altitudes, where do they have to go through? Right. It's KI. Okay? It's KI because it has to start at a vertex and it makes a right angle over there. So KI, that's the altitude. And then now a perpendicular bisector, guys. Perpendicular bisector. JM.
Oh,
Careful. See, that's where those 2 lines are going to get you. Okay? JM is this line right here. That's JM. Okay, so on our next one here, we can see they said we need to find the length of RS and TS, right? So what we have to do is we have to see SU is being a perpendicular bisector for RT. So since we know it's a perpendicular bisector, we know that RS and TS are congruent. So we would just set those equal, and then you will solve for X, and then you plug in. And hint, once you know RS, you also know TS. Okay, and then again here, we're going to go the reverse way of thinking about perpendicular bisectors. If we see that we have a right angle here, So this line is perpendicular to EG, and we see that these two segments, DE and DG, are congruent. That tells us that FG and EF are congruent. So again, we will set them equal to each other. And then you solve for X. And then to find the length of EG, because that's the whole thing, you can find the length of one of them and multiply it by 2. So we can do EF. So EG is equal to 2 times EF. And you just plug in. Okay, last few. Number 14. Okay, on 14, they said find ER if EV is x minus 8 and VR is x minus 10. Okay, VR is the small piece and EV is the bigger piece and ER is the whole thing. So we need to find the relationship between the big and the small, which we know the big one is 2 times the small one. So we just plug in. So EV, big one, x minus 8, is equal to 2 times my small one, x minus 10. And now we're going to solve for x. So x minus 8 is 2x minus 20. Take away x from both sides. I'm going to add 10 as well. Negative 8 plus 10 is 2. 2x minus x is just x. So x is 2. And now to find ER, you could do a couple of options. You can plug in to EV and VR and then add them. Or you could do 3 times your small one, so 3 times VR. All right, so you just plug in. And you plug into VR and you multiply by 3. Okay, next here. They're saying to us, if HD is a perpendicular bisector of MU, we need to mark all the segments that are going to be congruent. So HD, okay, this vertical line is the one cutting this horizontal line into 2 equal pieces. So right away, MZ would be congruent to ZU. Now, we know that since these 2 lines are perpendicular bisectors, we would know that the diagonal pieces are congruent, right? So MH would be congruent to HU. Now, we also have to be careful, though. We do know that MD and DU would be congruent, but we're not sure if HZ would be congruent to ZD. So MD and DU would have to be a different length, possibly, unless we get more information there. But DM would be congruent to DU. Okay. And now number 16. Okay, we have these 2 angles here. We need to find the measure of JKH. So JKH is this one here. And then they also want us to find the measure of angle JKL. JKL is that big one there. Now, to find JKH, we have to understand that this 5x plus 10 is going to be congruent to this 8x minus 2. All right, and how do I know that? Well, because I have these 90-degree angles here, and then I also see that the 16 and the 16 are the same. So that tells me that HK is an angle bisector. So we get 8x minus 2 is equal to 5x plus 10. Okay, so you solve it, you find x, and then you plug in. You plug into JKH, and then, since we know that JKL is the whole thing, you would do 2 times JKH, and that gives you JKL. All right, and then this is our last one. Okay, now this one, we have to go back to our triangle congruencies, and we can see, because we're going to try to prove that this AD and DC are congruent to each other. And how will we do that? Well, we see we have an angle here and an angle there. We have another angle up here at B, and then they share this side and the center. So they're congruent by angle, angle, side. So since the two triangles are congruent, I know that those two pieces are congruent to each other, and they need 2 tick marks because they're different. All right, so 4x plus 11 will be equal to that 6x minus 13. And then, again, just find x. And then you'll need to find the length of CD, so you're going to plug in. All right, so that's it, guys. Just finish up these problems and then check the key, and you should be good to go. See you later.